membrane.
Your squiggly things look pretty good.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, check.
So, wait, whose squiggly things are whose now? Are those the...
Those are your squiggly. You got little squiggly
I have
things.
little squiggly
See, those are
things.
mine right there.
All right. Let's try and
Coming
fix
out on
this.
a heart cardoid.
All right. Okay,
that
that's
part?
better. That's
Yes.
better squiggly things, I guess.
Okay. You need to work on your squiggly things, dude.
This is Brian Lambert, and you are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
Now you do it.
I will not say anything unless I am given a royalty that is...
That's a good policy.
This
Good
is-
policy.
This is Jake Laughlin, and you are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
Cool.
Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I'm sure you could.
This is the BBC Home Service. Here is the 8 o'clock news. Sir John Ingram, speaking of the economic crisis at Worcester last night, warned the people of Britain to face further cuts in the near future.
What? No, I haven't got your letter. I can't hear a damn thing. No, nothing works. Nothing at all. Right? Blast it.
Walked off my feet looking. One place didn't have a bath, and the other they hadn't even started building. Nowhere to live, and no lunchtime looking for it. Oh, I give up.
Do you know, I spent 2.5 hours in the queues yesterday, and all I came back with was 3 sausages and 2 pounds of artichokes. The vegetable queue got so political that they had 3 governments all in power at the same time by the time I got to the front.
Well, you know, the way these network biggies are.
Oh, then it was
Yes.
right out.
They kind of soften you up. You know, they pat you on the back looking for a soft spot to plunge the dagger.
Well, we can only make the best of it. Let's see what they've got in our place on there this morning.
A foreign correspondent, commenting on the speech, said,
It's doggy time.
But in Wagner's time, it was revolutionary. I believe he was a jerk, whatever.
I know.
Everybody would be expecting me to do this.
But
I'm
I
not
will
gonna
not
do that.
do
I
that.
will not do it. I
will
will do
not
this.
do it because I am an artist.
And then everybody will lose their minds.
That's right. But I'm going to make them lose their minds anyway because I'm going to make them sit in an opera for 6 hours.
Oh my God.
My personal opinion, Wagner is not nearly as bad as it sounds. Paws up, my cats and kittens. You are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. I am your host and humble narrator, Bone Doggie, his own self, here to remind you that when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. And that is the truth, my cats and kittens. This week was a rather tempestuous week. First of all, there is this leaping, gnashing, grabbing, snarling, great big giant vicious teeth crud that basically everybody is catching. We've got to address this. I know that 80% of my buds out there, and some of you in the listening audience have probably got it too. There's this stuff that's flying through the air. It is in the form of a cold or near-death experience, depending on how hard it hits you. Managed to pop Bone Doggie about halfway through the week last week, and I gotta say it's kind of ironic when you finally get 2 days off and you're at death's door when you do it. However, there was a silver lining to this allergenic cloud that seemed to pass over us this week, and that is our good buddy NyQuil. Now, I usually don't endorse products, especially when we have nothing to do with the company or anything like that on here, but I got to say that when trouble rears its ugly head and looks at you in the form of a seasonal illness, usually a cold or maybe something that wants to develop into pneumonia if it can get its claws into you. So if you're starting to feel a little nasty, I'm just saying, where Doggie goes, NyQuil. Big N, little Y, big freaking Q, NyQuil. The Green Death flavor. That's the one we're after. I think Lewis Black had the greatest joke about it. He said, you know, he had a cold, and so he drank a whole bottle of NyQuil, and he woke up in a town he'd never been to, married to a woman he'd never met, but he could breathe. So that's what we did for 2 days. We just thumped up on NyQuil and Mucinex and anything else we could really get a hold of, and Bone Doggie did a lot of green tea with the honey. Now, I'm not a tea drinker. I like coffee. Those of you that know me, we know we will down some Folgers, I'm saying. But when you're feeling a little puny, my cats and kittens, there is nothing better. Well, okay, there's one thing better, but my cart is running before my horse. When you're feeling nasty, you grab yourself some green tea, throw some honey in there, open up the pores, right? Now, the pièce de résistance, if you're not going to go the NyQuil road, or even if you do, is a good, solid cup of chicken soup. Now, for those of you who know Bone Doggie, you know that the one good thing I did in my life was I married a chef. And Mama Doggie can put together one blazes of a pot of chicken soup. So, with the help of Mama Doggie and her chicken soup and a ton of NyQuil and a bunch of Mucinex and other things that we got a hold of, we kicked the cold. We got the cold in time to do a great gig on Saturday over at Two Charlie's. And in the meantime, you know, we're on the mend. We feel great. And then the car goes down. So that was the other part of the tempestuous part of the week, is that the truck goes down. And so I got to put that in the shop, spend all my money. So it has been fun, but the week finished out Saturday afternoon up at Two Charlie's. We had a blast of a party up there. We had Matt Grigsby and the Merry Monsters played. Our good buddies Contingency Clause played, another Denton radio band. And then, of course, your humble narrator and his Hickory Street Hellraisers. We got up there and happily did our thing. Finishing off the night was the greatness of Jambunctious, my cats and kittens. So it was quite the smorgasbord. Everybody had a great time, and most of us remember leaving. Not in all of us, but, you know, like I said, we had a good time. Let's just drop it at that. So that was pretty cool. And then last night, Sunday night, we have been doing an open mic over at Abbey Underground. As you know, Bone Doggie's been doing open mics in this town for a good 8 years. And moved over to Abbey Underground. We are saying au revoir to Banter. Thank you so much, guys. We love you, and we'll continue to play over at Banter. But after 7 years, it's time, a little bit of time for a change. Get some new blood over there. So good old Matt Grigsby from Matt Grigsby and the Merry Monsters is going to be hosting over at Banter. And Bone Doggie has moved his open mic over to Abbey Underground on Sunday night, and we started a sign-up system. We have a featured act, and we've done it 2 weeks in a row, my cats and kittens, and it has been great. I mean, you know, a lot of the regulars that play at Banter have been coming over to Abbey Underground and doing, you know, a little bit longer set. You know, the guest list is not quite so long because what we do over at Abbey Underground is we give everybody good 4 tunes, you know, get up there and sink your teeth into it. It's a little bit earlier as well, so, you know, Sunday night, nobody wants to be out till 2 o'clock in the morning if they can avoid it. So, you know, we started doing that. We've had a really great response, having a good time, got good sound system, good stage and all that. So rather than hosting 2 open mics here in Denton, my cats and kittens, I am still hosting one over at Abbey Underground, and I will be frequenting Banter on Thursday night. That is the best open mic ever. And so, you know, the sign up over there is 7:45 and you get in there, get in the list, and do the same drill, and Brother Matt's going to take care of everybody. And then, like I said, cats and kittens, if you want to get out and stretch your legs a little bit on a Sunday night, you can head up to Abbey Underground. Now, one thing that Abbey does have that Banter doesn't, and that's a full bar. And again, if you know Bone Doggie, you know that a full bar carries a lot of weight. I'm just saying. So that's just an extra added bonus, which means that, you know, Monday morning's a little rough unless we behave ourselves Sunday. And we should all behave ourselves Sunday anyway. You got to give your body a break. You can't abuse it all the time. So... But I'm going to get in so much trouble for saying all this. Anyway, the other open mic, I believe, that has changed has been Love Shack was doing one on Wednesday night. And from what I understand and from what I read this morning is that Love Shack has closed its doors. Chef Love went ahead and shut down the restaurant. So that open mic has moved over to Two Charlie's, which is over there on Sunset right off of University Street. The address is 809 Sunset Street in Denton, 76201. And this is really funny. Two Charlie's. It's a great little bar. That's where the Hellraisers hang out. That's our home. One of the reasons is that the Duchess, Abby Messerly from the Hellraisers, she is actually a bartender up there, along with Brother Rogan Naples, who plays drums for Jambunctious and is also an occasional Hickory Street Hellraiser, by the way. Also, Brother Brian Cox, who plays drums for Contingency Clause, and, of course, Brother Jordan Cummings, who is the bass player for Nerdface. So Two Charlies is just stocked with rhythm sections, trombone players, bass players, drummers, and all that. And it's one big happy family. And what has really been fascinating, my cats and kittens, is that Two Charlies is starting to turn into a music venue, which is very cool over there. They have basically taken over the open mic slot on Wednesday night that Love Shack had. So if, as a matter of fact, I believe that the same guy, I wished I knew his name right now, I'd tell you who he was, but I think that the same guy that was doing the open mic over at Love Shack is now doing it on Wednesday night at Two Charlies. That's 809 Sunset. And then, of course, Thursday night, you got an open mic at Banter, which has been there. It's 219 West Oak Street. And then, of course, Sunday night, you got Bone Doggie's open mic over at Abbey Underground, and that's 101 Walnut Street, around in there. So there are open mics galore, and what's great about this, my cats and kittens, is these things are full every night. We know, you know, I know, most of our families know that there is no shortage of talent in Denton. And if you're out and about and you want to see some live music and you want to have a serious variety, hit these open mics. They are a blast, and there's usually drink specials and things like that going on. It's a cheap evening of good entertainment, and on top of that, really more than that, is that it supports the Denton music, the Denton musicians, and the guys that, you know, come into town here, and they seek out these open mics. We actually had some guys from Dallas come up this last Sunday night and play at Abbey Underground, and they just blew everybody's socks off. It's a group called Flashpoint. So, you know, the supporting Denton music is huge. We also get a little bit from out of town, but by and large, everybody that's playing at these open mics are Denton talent, and, you know, we're all about that here at DentonRadio.com. That's our lifeblood. So look out for that. Like I say, you got one on Wednesday night over there at Two Charlies. You got one over at, of course, Banter on Thursday night. And then Sunday night, if you still ain't had enough, you got to come by Abbey Underground and see Bone Doggie's open mic. And there's always a special guest and all that. So it's quite the smorgasbord, as we are accustomed to, my cats and kittens, for Denton music. And we here at Doggy Time definitely believe that variety is the spice of life. Can you dig that? I knew that you could.
Hey, this is Ashley Gatta from Ashley Gatta and the Free People.
And this is Bone Doggie from Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers.
This is Jake Laughlin, president of DentonRadio.com.
The DentonRadio.com Performance and Public Speaking Seminar audio version is now available for purchase, so make sure you pick up your copy today.
And my cats and kittens, be sure to stay tuned to DentonRadio.com to hear about more live events happening around town.
For an email update the next time we are live near you, just email the word seminar to contact@DentonRadio.com.
And to submit a question for consideration to be answered at the next event, simply email that question to contact@DentonRadio.com.
The DentonRadio.com Performance and Public Speaking Seminar.
We hope we can help you take your music to an entirely new level.
Can you dig it?
We can dig it.
Actually doesn't dig it. You know, I knew you weren't going to dig it when you walked in here. You just had that "I'm not going to dig it" on my face.
I'm sorry.
Well, okay.
Okay, we need to redo the
We're going to have to kill you
thing
now.
that we all say at the same time.
Yeah. Can you dig it? I can dig it.
I can dig it.
Okay.
I can dig it.
Okay. Finally, you can dig it.
Sorry, I followed the script. It wasn't on the script.
I'm going to hold you to digging it.
And now, friends, another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
You shouldn't text while you drive because proper grammar is always the first thing to go out the window. and the second thing to go through the windshield. Bam Bam Cares.
Tune in next week, friends, for another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
Oh, Bone Doggie.
What do you desire, my little nest of vipers?
What if we did Sherlock Holmes in a film noir style?
Oh, you mean the great Victorian detective in a seedy sort of back alley setting?
It could all start on a dark, stormy night in the city.
It was a dark, stormy night in the city, just like the lady said. I was sitting in my office at 221 Baker Street, knocking off a fifth of Old Boot and reading a racing form, when she walked into my life.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
She was the most beautiful chunk of real estate I'd ever laid eyes on. She had flaming red hair, dangerous emerald green eyes, and ruby red lips. But of course, you can't tell all that because we're in black and white. But what really got my attention was that this angel was armed to the teeth. Oh yeah, she had a gun too.
You are Mr. Sherlock Holmes, I presume?
A chill ran up my spine, and I knew right away that I was face-to-face with the most dangerous set of curves in the underworld. That's what the name on the door says, baby. What can I do for you?
You've probably already guessed. I am Professor Moriarty.
Professor Moriarty? I thought Moriarty was a guy. I ain't got my sunglasses on, baby, but from where I'm sitting, I can't exactly picture you in a pair of boxers. Well, okay, yeah, I can, but
It's
still,
Jane Moriarty, not James. Jane!
All right, then.
Mad. Everybody gets that wrong, and it really ticks me off.
Well, sweetheart, I could spare you 5 minutes, but then I gotta go to the can. So if you got any beans, you need to be spilling them now.
Mr. Holmes, you have been a considerable pain in my backside for some time now. La semaine, I was annoyed by you on 2 separate occasions.
Only 2?
You annoyed me again when you thwarted my plans in February, and then again in March.
Oh, yeah.
I was positively hampered by your annoying interference last June.
I don't remember that.
And then you got right up my nose 2 weeks ago when you shut down my brilliant plan using the red-headed guys.
Oh, yeah. Those
Do you have any idea how hard that was to organize?
Probably a lot of paperwork.
I was so angry. I broke a fingernail when I pushed one of the henchmen in the head. That was very annoying.
So, evil genius doesn't fall out of a taxi and land in your lap, eh, sweetheart?
What?
Oh, sorry, mixed metaphor there. Go ahead.
You have 2 simple choices, Mr. Holmes. You can either back off and decide to leave me alone.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Or I can put a bullet between your eyes, in which case you will ruin the carpet and the wallpaper, and definitely then you will leave me alone.
Well, I hate to burst your criminal mastermind bubble there, sweetheart, but I think you're overlooking a third alternative.
No, do tell me, Mr. Holmes. I'd love to see what your brilliant mind has to offer on this situation.
What if you and I shelve the firepower, hop in a taxi, and beat it on down to Denton? We can find a lovely little hole in the wall, listen to some live music, and discuss the future while we knock back a few Coca-Colas, you know what I mean?
So, you really think live music in Denton can help us solve our little differences, Mr. Holmes?
Well, it couldn't hurt, baby. We got nothing in even if jazz and a beautiful sunrise can't fix. But if we don't get in that taxi now, we'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday, and for the rest of
all right,
life.
Mr. Holmes, I get it. We'll try it your way. And we'll go Dutch. I hit an ATM on the way over here.
Whoa, so you already made a withdrawal?
No, I hit an ATM with my Humvee on the way over. There was cash lying around everywhere. It was a marvelous sight.
You know, sweetheart, I think this could be the start of a beautiful relationship. All right, my cats and kittens, it is about time that we take a gander around the lovely town of Denton. Got the dog sitting here, and we're both looking at the computer, and we're seeing Abbey Underground, which is 101 Walnut Street over there Thursday, November 15th. Aphrodisiacs, our good buddies Aphrodisiacs, are going to be over there on Thursday. That show starts at 10 p.m. and that is 21 and up. There is no cover over there. And then again at Abbey Underground on Friday night, November 16th. This says 9 p.m. We've got Opposite Day, and David Willingham is going to be up there. And then, of course, on Saturday night at Abbey Underground, they always have the dance party. DJ plays up there and just spins some tunes, and everybody has a good time. And then, of course, Abbey Underground, Sunday nights, 7 p.m., Bone Doggie's open mic. We've already talked about that once this evening, and we will continue to talk about it forever. So that's what's going on at Abbey Underground. Andy's Basement Bar and Grill, 122 North Locust Street here in Denton. Saturday, November 17th, we've got Soul Police, Old City Lights, Aphrodisiacs, and Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers. That's going to be Saturday night, the 17th, at Andy's Basement Bar. That is going to be one great show, my cats and kittens. It's quite the variety. You got a good jam band in Soul Police, which, by the way, our special guest tonight, coming up here in a few minutes, is Brother Kabir, who's the lead singer and lead guitar player of Soul Police. He's going to be with us in a few minutes, and we'll get to hear firsthand about that bunch. And then we've got I believe, a Latin-flavored rock thing going with Old City Lights. This is the first time I've got to meet these guys, and I'm really looking forward to meeting them. And then, of course, you know, the powerful reggae of Aphrodisiacs. They're going to be busy boys next week. I think that's kind of funny. And then, of course, at our great pleasure, Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers, you know, our little circus that we have. So that's going to be going on at Andy's. Dan's Silverleaf, 103 Industrial Street in Denton. Looks like Thursday, the 15th, we've got The Dark Side of Oz. That show starts at 9 p.m. The cost is $10, and the age limit is 18 and plus. And then on Friday at Dan's, we got Tim Easton, and also the Spring Standards are going to be up there. That show starts at 10 p.m. The cost looks like $7 or $10, I guess, for 21 and up, or the age limits there is 18 and plus. Saturday at Dan's on the 17th, 8 p.m., we got Rock Lottery 11, and this looks really interesting. The description says that the Rock Lottery premise is simple but effective. 25 hand-picked musicians meet at 10 a.m. in the morning, and they meet at that performance venue. They're going to meet up at Dan's. These volunteers are organized into 5 groups, bands, through a lottery-based chance selection. The 5 separate groups are then released to practice at different locations, and the musicians, they've got 12 hours, my cats and kittens, to create a band name and 3 to 5 songs, one of them being a cover tune. And so that's going to go on at Dan's, and I'm really looking forward to checking that out. It doesn't have a cover, so I'm not sure what it costs to get in, but the show's going to start at 8 p.m. So what they do is they get these musicians together, they split them up into bands. These guys go off and spend the day working up a 5-song set list, and then they come back that night and they play their tunes. So that ought to be really interesting. We're going to check that out. No, I can't check that out because I'm going to be at Andy's, but I'm going to send a spy over there, I think, and have them check that out and see what's going on with that. The age limit is 21 and up on that night at Dan's Silverleaf. So that's happening the 17th. Let's see, Haley's, which is over there, 122 Mulberry Street in Denton. Thursday night, the 15th, you've got Biographies, Chambers, Secret Cakes, and Megan's Story. That show starts at 10 p.m. There doesn't say anything about a cover charge, but it's usually about $5-6 for something like that. Good 4-band, 5-band show. So 4-band show. Age limit is 18 and up on that. Friday at Haley's, the 16th, we've got Boris O'Kane, Borris Okane, and Growl is going to be there. That's the 16th. That show starts at 10 p.m. Not available on the cost, but it says limited age limit, all ages. So that ought to be an interesting show. And then Sunday the 18th at Haley's, My Cats and Kittens, we got Schoolboy Humor, Consider Me Dead, Boy Epic, Young London, Jocko Suede, and Underdog House. Now, that's going to be quite the show. That's 6 bands. Starts at 8 p.m. on Sunday night. The cost is $12 to get in the door, $15 if you are under 21. So that's happening over there at Haley's. And of course, Rubber Gloves Rehearsal Studio, 411 East Sycamore Street. Thursday, they got My Empty Phantom and Ash Ryder. That's his cost is $5 to get in the door. And then Friday night, they've got Pocket Change, Discounting You, Aeolus, Earthshine. Our good buddies Earthshine are going to be over there. That's Tanya Blum and brother David Rios and company. And let's see, who else is playing with them? DJ Don't Know and Foolish 2. So that's going to be quite the night over there at Rubber Gloves. That show starts at 10 p.m. and the cost is $3 to get in the door, $5 if you are under 21. And then Sunday at Rubber Gloves, you got Diamond Age, Depth and Setting, Blackstone Rangers, and Skeleton Coast. 10 p.m. on that show. Again, costs $3 to get in the door, $5 if you are under 21. I'm getting better at that. I used to drop that ball every time they handed it off to me, but now I'm getting better at that. But the age limit at Rubber Gloves, My Cats and Kittens, is 17 and plus. So you pay good attention to that. And let's see, at Banter, 219 West Oak Street, let's see what they got going on. Of course, Thursday night, we got Link Shalon doing happy hour over there at 6 p.m. And then 8 p.m., Banter's open mic shows up. The sign-up list goes up 8:15. So that's always a treat. The 16th, Friday night, we've got Drew Zaremba Jazz, and that goes from 6 p.m. to 7:45, followed by Andrew May's CD release party. That's from 8 to 9 at Banter. And then this is the treat, My Cats and Kittens, at 9:30. Our old friend, our good friend, Marty Garcia is coming all the way in from Rhode Island to do a wee bit of a CD release party for her. Now, Marty was a regular up at Banter's open mic for ages and ages. Bo Doggie actually got the privilege to play with Marty several gigs. We always had a great time. She is a wonderful singer-songwriter, and she's got a good little band coming in with her, some hired guns. That show is 9:30 to 11:30 p.m., and there's no cover at Banter. So that's what's going on Friday night. Saturday night, we've got Jazz with Seth Weaver. That goes from 6 p.m. to 7:45. And then Andrea Young, Richard Gilbert, Caleb Coomrod, and Low Fidelity. That's going to be an open mic showcase. That is Saturday, November 17th at Banter. That show is going to be from 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., My Cats and Kittens. So that's kind of neat, too. And now we're going to bring a new one into the fold, which we're happy to announce, is that over at Two Charlies, 809 Sunset Street, I believe, let me make sure that's right. That's the, 809 Sunset Street here in Denton, Two Charlies on Wednesday night. We've got Two Charlies open mic that is run by Adam, who is doing the open mic over at Love Shack. Apparently, from what I understand, the list is going to go up between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, My Cats and Kittens. It's a sign-up sheet, and I guess the show is going to start at 9 and basically go till close. So one more open mic added to the fold to just bring on the major plethora of music that is available to you here in the lovely city of Denton. So that's what we got going on out there this week, My Cats and Kittens. We do hope to see you out and about. There's a lot of music happening downtown. All of our buddies are out. We're all going to be working this weekend, so you be very careful, but come on out, support some of these venues, support some Denton music, and just have yourself a general good time. All right, my cats and kittens, it is about time where we bring in our special guest for the evening. And as I had previously mentioned here a few seconds ago, we have got Kabir Lika from Soul Police.
Hello, America.
Hello, America, and hello, Denton.
Especially Denton.
Especially Denton. That's a good save there, dude. Good save. Good save.
You know, Denton knows I love it. I don't feel the need to you know, have to say it all the time.
Embellish.
Yeah, it knows.
Okay, now, Kabir, I can take one look at you and look at your name, as a matter of fact. Kabir Lika. You ain't Irish.
Oh, man, I drink like one, though.
You drink like an Irish. Well, that's why.
Actually, I drink like a Punjabi because that's what I am. I'm from India originally. And if you know anything about the Punjabi people, we love our spicy food.
Yeah, all curry.
Oh, yeah.
You could put curry on Captain Crunch and I'd eat that stuff.
Oh,
man.
yeah. We love our spicy food. We love our whiskey.
Totally there.
Much like the Irish.
There you go.
And we love our music. So.
See, I love that too. I love that too. So when did the family move to the United States?
I moved here when I was 5 years old. I moved here, with my mom. She single mom, you know, she raised me.
Right.
And grew up in Texas, so, you know, a lot of times I meet people, they're always like, where are you from? Because you sound like you're from here. You're from India? Well, I am from here. I grew up here. I'm an Indian that walks and talks like a cowboy. That's all.
There you go. Oh man, you've got that Henry Cho, Russell Peters thing going on. Yeah. So that's very cool. Do you speak?
No, sadly, I'm not in touch with my roots very much. I go to India about once or twice a year. I don't speak it. I understand more than I let on.
Right.
Much to the chagrin of my little brother, who always, like, whenever he says something in front of me that he doesn't want me to understand, he'll start speaking in Hindi. And he doesn't think I get it, but I totally get it. I just, I can't speak it very well.
So you go to India, and you're standing on the street corner, and somebody comes up and starts talking to you.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
and you look at them and go, well, I reckon so.
It's so funny. I don't get weird looks when I'm in India until I open my mouth.
Right. And then Austin, Texas comes out, and bam, you know, got your attention there.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, man, I do not know what you're saying. I'm going to leave you alone.
It's always like one-word answers, you know, or like someone will just like start spouting in Hindi to me, and I'm like, huh? No.
No.
Acha, TK. Okay, TK.
Now, this is really what I was thinking about this afternoon. Is I guess you had played Abbey Underground a couple months ago.
Yeah, right? Yeah. We get over there every so often. Every month.
When was the last time you were over there? Do you remember?
I want to say it was sometime in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is October, and I'm actually taking Mama Doggie to work. She works over at Hannah's. And I looked up at the marquee and I saw Soul Police. And I thought, you know, I've got to meet these guys. I've seen your names up there a couple times, you know, and heard about you guys. I guess you'd played Andy's and some other places in town. And I said, I've got to meet these guys. And then lo and behold, a couple weeks later, we did that benefit, the biker benefit. And you showed up with Dewey and his bunch.
Right, from Jambunctious.
From Jambunctious, yeah. And I thought, well, okay, Providence has smiled, and here we are. And I thought, you know, wow, this is cool. So and wanted to get you in and talk a bit about it. I'm really interested in Soul Police, how it came about. Is this a Denton band? Is this your brainchild? Where'd you come up with it?
Absolutely a Denton band. I've been writing and collecting material, I guess, for the last 8 to 10 years, and you know, a solo project or call it whatever you want, but I've always wanted to have a platform to showcase some of that original material of mine.
Right.
And Soul Police came about through the UNT College of Music. You know, I met Phil Hill, my drummer, and Joe Scalagi, both UNT music students. I met them, you know, in school. I'm a music major myself. And
what did you study at school?
I studied guitar performance and composition.
So you are a guitar player?
I'm a guitar player, yeah. I'm a guitar player who sings. I'm like the Phil Collins of Soul Police.
Okay. Well, even though you are a guitar player, we are not going to hold that against you because we love you.
Oh.
So, yeah, we talk about guitar players a lot.
Yeah, well, we don't really, as guitar players, I can say, you know, we don't really do a lot to erase some of those negative stereotypes that exist about us.
Sometimes you just got to let them roll, you know, and like a duck, let the water roll off the back. But I think our horse is getting a little bit, or our cart is getting a little bit before the horse. when did you start out playing music? That's pretty much the stock beginning question, and I'm really interested in that because we've talked, but I know virtually nothing about you, so I'm learning about this at the same time.
Right,
when did you start playing?
I started playing guitar when I was 11 years old. I was taking lessons from Van Wilkes, who is a really well-known blues musician. I grew up in Austin, Texas, so I grew up around a lot of blues guys, and Van has toured with Peter Frampton in the 70s. He was the opening act for Peter Frampton.
Right.
He grew up with the guys in ZZ Top, specifically Billy and Dusty.
Billy and Dusty,
yeah.
Yep.
And, just a phenomenal musician, and I took lessons from him from 11 to 18, and I started my first band in high school when I was 16.
Oh, awesome. You did the garage band thing.
Yeah,
oh, very cool.
Did Battle of the Bands and stuff like that. Always been a guitar player.
That is a rite of passage, man. That is a rite of passage.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, I along the way, in high school, I started playing with a cover band that played 6th Street a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And after high school, I started playing with this guy, Lucas Cook, out of Austin.
Right.
He's an original songwriter, and I played guitar for him.
Very nice.
And eventually, fast forward a few years, I decided to go get my music degree when I was 22. And that's how I found myself in Denton, Texas.
Cool.
And, once I got up here, I just saw it as an opportunity to finally, not that I don't mind playing other people's music, but I've been writing so much of my own material for so long, and new town, fresh start, amazing musicians everywhere I look. I mean, you can't throw a rock without hitting a great musician in this town.
No, you can't. That's honest truth. That's honest true, man, because they are all over the place.
All over the place. So it was just good fortune and circumstance that brought about Soul Police.
So. And so Soul Police have been together for how long?
We've been together now for about 3 years.
About 3 years. Yeah. Oh, okay, very cool. Because I know I had heard your name.
Right.
I hadn't seen you guys anywhere.
We've been on the scene. Yeah, we've been on the scene for about a year and a half now. We had a slow start, some personnel issues, people graduating or people moving on, and so it was a little tough for us. It's the drummer. It's like the Spinal Tap drummer situation.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, if you've ever met Travis Barton's bunch, I Am Man, I Am Monster, and you want to hear some horror stories about getting a drummer, talk to that bunch.
It's tough.
They finally it took them 5 years to land the guy they've got now, and they love him.
Right.
It's Al, and I don't know if you have met Al.
I haven't, no.
You probably will one of these days. He's a great guy. He's actually an excellent drummer. And he's also a cook, which is funny.
Nice.
But, it's 15 points on my scale. If you could cook, that's good. But anyway, finding a drummer, finding a rhythm section.
Right.
That works together.
Absolutely.
And verify if I am not correct. You can substantiate this to the entire world. My friend Kabir is going to verify this statement.
Unless I disagree with it.
You will agree with it. I'll bet you $1, dime, and a donut right now you're going to agree with this thing. Finding a rhythm section is like it is one of the hardest things you can do.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Especially as a solo artist, a songwriter, finding like-minded musicians who like and appreciate and value what you contribute and what you write, and are willing to, back you up and make it better and help arrange it and just really work with you to bring your music to life. That is such a beautiful thing.
When you guys write and put things together, is Soul Police a democracy?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a democracy. I mean, I write I conceptualize most of the songs at home on my acoustic guitar or my electric guitar. I tend to do most of the lyric writing, but the arrangements, when I come into rehearsals with a song idea, it is hands down a completely unfinished product.
Right.
It's chaos. It's stanzas of lyrics and various guitar riffs, and I have not put them together in any sort of way. And Joe and Phil, I bring these ideas to them, and they really do all of the. They take the building blocks that I brought and then they arrange them in an appealing way.
That's interesting. Because I talk to a lot of guys, and everybody has their own form. Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers is kind of like a representative republic. It's more like a benevolent dictatorship.
There you go. Honesty, I like that.
But we work the same way. I will if I write a tune, and if I have certain ways that this song is going to go. But the reason the Hellraisers are Hellraisers is because they are responsible for writing their parts.
There you go.
You know, I'm not going to dictate to a guitar player what to play.
Exactly.
Excuse me, because I'm not a guitar player.
Right.
Way too many strings. Don't know what to do with them. You know, and so you know, and the same. You know, I've got a trombone. How do you deal with that? I'm still learning how to deal with a trombone. I've got the best drummer in the world. I never even have to worry about him.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Just do this, Chris, and he says, "All right, man, I got it." You know, and he is off to it. And Thumpy, we just picked up Thumpy a couple months ago, and I love having a jazz bass player.
It's awesome. Yeah.
You know, Bam Bam was great. He's my boy, excellent bass player. Totally different world. He's a punker. You know, and so I went from a punker to a jazzer, and between you, me, and a fence post and about 40 people, which is our peak listening audience, I believe. There's not that much difference really between the two of them. You know, bass players. I played bass for 20 years.
Right.
You know, and so there's a soft spot in here.
Of course.
So I can see this type of bass player and this type of bass player and the similarities between the two. So I'm saving my fanny on that one.
Yeah, you know, I fear like if I was to ever call my Soul Police a benevolent dictatorship, I like seriously fear the results of that statement. I'm pretty sure I'd get my ass handed to me by those two guys. But you know, I like you said, I trust them to write their own parts and make their own decisions. And but you know, if I have like a suggestion or an idea of like a general feel, like I won't hesitate to mention that.
Right.
But yeah, well, they're really good at what they do, and I'm
am I not correct? Every band needs a clear leader. You need somebody to make the buck stop.
You do, yeah, absolutely.
And I think the guys appreciate that, you know. And you don't have to be a hole about it, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so that's very cool. Speaking of Soul Police, you brought some recordings here, and what are we going to hear?
So yeah, we went down to Austin, played a show at Darwin's Pub on 6th Street about 2 or 3 months ago.
Right.
And I have some friends down there that own. This is a pretty cool story about how this recording came about. A friend of mine by the name of Bling Johnson.
Bling Johnson.
Yes.
I love that. Bling Johnson, Private Eye.
You should really, check out blingjohnson.com out there. He's an interesting cat. He's got a TV show in Austin, and he owns a body shop called Let's Get Famous Customs.
Wow.
Yeah. That's where he records the show.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty cool. It's on KVBO down there. But anyway, he let us use the body shop to record this demo. It's an EP, I guess. We're still kind of working on the mixes, but these two songs. The first one is called "If You Don't Like My Funk." This is part 2. There are 2 parts. This is part 2. It's largely an instrumental. It is a song that came about of just that first riff you're going to hear, and this is a perfect example of me taking a completely, detached idea and taking it to Joe and Phil and having them kind of help me with the arrangement. It's
very cool.
I would say it's half instrumental. There's really only one lyric in the song, and it's, "If you don't like my funk, you can go funk yourself."
And I think we could say that on Doggy Time.
F-U-N-K yourself.
Okay, don't take it over the wall. I'm just saying, okay? So, all right, my cats and kittens, this is Soul Police and the tune, "If You Don't Like My Funk," Part 2. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could. right, my cats and kittens, that was Soul Police, and If You Don't Like My Funk, Part 2. And before anybody starts writing letters out there, it was You Can Go Funk Yourself. Funk, that's right. It's not, we were not dropping the F-bomb.
It's an F-bomb of a different sort. A sexier one.
A sexier F-bomb.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll find out from the people that own this radio station or the city council, and they'll let us know next week, I'm sure.
They can write me a letter.
There you go. So you recorded that in a garage.
Yeah, you know, that's the funny thing. It's a garage, literally a garage recording.
That's awesome.
It was recorded in a body shop.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So the big body shop. That's very cool. So let's talk about influences. You've obviously got a very funky style and a very dance style. Where'd that all come from?
Oh man, it'd be hard to kind of just narrow that down to one or two, but you know, like I said, I grew up in Austin listening to the blues and so many different local influences and nationally. Obviously, as a guitar player, I listened to a lot of Stevie Ray Vaughan,
right.
You know, a hometown hero.
Yep.
Jimi Hendrix. I was a big old school rock and roll fan when I was younger, and still am. Aerosmith, Rolling Stones, Guns N' Roses. You know, I listened to just a variety of music, and you know, in my later life, I started getting into funk and R&B. Tower of Power, big influence of mine.
Yes, there are a couple Hellraisers that are huge into Tower and Power.
Just an amazing band.
You know, when I was young and Tower of Power was out the first time,
right?
And at that time, I think I was a prog rock bigot. So Tower of Power wasn't really pushing my buttons, and to be honest with you, it was the afros that totally turned me off, you know.
Oh yeah.
But until I ended up with one.
It's a bunch of white boys in that band now.
Know. And that was the problem is 18 years old, Bone Doggie's in high school in 1976, and I had an afro.
Oh man, I would have paid to see that.
No, you really wouldn't have. And then Robert Plant come along and saved my life. You know, oh, my hair does that naturally. I'll just let it grow forever. So, but so you obviously adopted the punk thing, and when I got off into the blues, as is Bone Doggie 1, I went all the way back. I mean, you know, I was traipsing around the 1920s.
Right.
You know, the Robert Johnson. I think we had this discussion a couple of weeks ago about Robert Johnson and
Robert Johnson, Blind Lemon Jefferson, Texas's own Blind Lemon Jefferson. You know, Curtis Johnson.
Johnson, absolutely. Wow, that's one not too many people know about.
Right. He was the first real blues man that sold his soul to the devil. You know?
There you go. And there was Lonnie. I guess they're all named Johnson. Lonnie Johnson was the same way, and all of that. But and Eric Clapton said this: when you start going back that farther, the wedge actually gets smaller, you know.
Yeah.
And there was Sonny Williamson.
Right. Sonny Boy. Yeah.
Sonny Boy. Actually, there was two of them. The
original
Sonny Boy.
That's right.
That's right. The original Sonny Boy, and then
the Pretender.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was on the radio show, right?
He was
pretending to be
Sonny Boy Williams,
yeah.
And then you know, as you get up into the electric part of it, you know, Howlin' Wolf and Muddy, you know,
Muddy, of course. And then later, you know, even some of the contemporary electric blues artists really, rev my engine. Like Robert Cray and Buddy Guy and
seen both of them.
Yeah,
that's a treat, dude. Watch those guys live.
Oh yeah, I got to see those guys. I don't know if you remember the Crossroads Guitar Festival back in '04.
Yes.
I saw so many of my heroes that weekend. Robert Cray, obviously Buddy Guy, B.B. King, Eric Clapton, Hubert Sumlin, just so many amazing artists.
My favorite B.B. King story, I go to see B.B. King, I guess it's late 70s, and he's in a place called Sneaky Pete's, which was over in Dallas.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
It was a big show, and the band was there, and they did the whole horn intro. And the guy says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman of the blues, Mr. B.B. King," and he didn't come out. And so they went through the whole thing again, and he did it the second time, and B.B. come out, and he had, what's her name?
Lucille.
And walked up, and the horn stopped, and he played one note. Bang! And the whole crowd just melted.
He's just got that super slow, deliberate vibrato. It's just beautiful.
It is amazing, and and not being a guitar player, I do have a couple instances. I'm huge into Mark Knopfler.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Right now, especially, because the guy's played with everybody and their brother and all of that. So I'm a firm believer, rip it off. If you hear something you like, you steal it.
That's what building your own sound. That's a necessary part of defining your own sound, is finding sounds you like and imitating them, and hopefully you find 15 or 20 and you kind of Frankenstein those together into something that's your sound.
Exactly.
But it has to come from somewhere.
It does, and there's only 12 notes anyway. I think.
And we only use 5 of them.
5 of them. Mixolydian, really? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Pentatonic scale's all I need, baby.
There you go. You could conquer the world with a pentatonic scale. Okay, the dog come in and checked you out. Now he's gonna leave. Poot has been on every episode, by the way.
Nice.
But when you get these influences and you start adapting and getting better at your instrument, and then, like you say, coming up with your own particular style. Do you think you ever hit it?
Me personally? Do you think, or just in general?
Just in general. This is a philosophical conundrum.
It's a query. Okay.
Yeah, it is I'm not even gonna walk. All I can think. I just thought of about 8 things to say, and I'm not gonna do it. So
keep it kid appropriate here.
Keep it appropriate here. Yes, it is a query into your philosophical outlook on how music evolves individually for you.
Sure. I think that it's different.
Save.
It's different for every person,
Right,
So I think some people spend their whole lives chasing that white rabbit, trying to find musically what they're looking for, and they sadly never find it.
In search of the lost chord.
Yes.
There you go.
And I think there are other people, and I hate these people, that start playing an instrument and a year later they are leaps and bounds better than someone who's been playing it for 10 years. And you got to respect that on one hand. But as someone, like for me personally, I've been playing guitar for 15 years. And I'm happy with the progress I've made over those 15 years.
You do a good job, dude.
I try. Thank you. But
I
have some peers of mine that, that just... because we all learn and grow at different rates, and some of my peers just blew up you know, in the first 2 or 3 years that they started playing guitar, just became insanely good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think that's just speaks to everyone has a different sort of learning style and learning curve, and
Right.
it's different for everyone. But I think the message and all of that nonsense I just, you know, regurgitated out is
That was pretty awesome. You took up a good 2 minutes. So good shit. All
I
right,
think the
keep
real
going.
lesson here
Keep going.
is that you can't give up. You know, you have
no.
to, if you love music or anything for that matter, you just have to keep working at it.
Yeah,
You know, and I'm
absolutely.
continuing to learn and get better every nanosecond.
I've had this discussion a lot. I think the original discussion was with Bam Bam. We were talking about it when he was young. You know, there are two types. There are rock stars and there are musicians. And if you're a rock star, you make it big, you know, do the charts and all of that stuff, and then you can't get arrested in 2 years, you know. Musician plays all his life, and when you die, that's how good you are.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think what I love about, you know, since we've talked and you've kind of given me that idea, that's kind of where you're at. You know, you more interested really than being a musician and playing music. you
Yeah.
know, hopefully for a living.
Absolutely.
Knock wood. I'll play the official knock wood noise. There we go. So anyway,
well, that's the dream, you know. Like I think we all want to find something that makes us happy in life, and the only thing I've ever been really good at, the only thing that I've never felt sort of averse to like devoting all my time into was been music. You know, like music is my passion. It's what I'm good at, and it's what I love to do.
Right. When you went to school, you went for music.
Yep.
Did you ever have any, I want to be a fireman type thing, or have you just?
Well, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a cop. When I was,
Did you really?
Yeah, which is so funny now that, if you know the person I am today, but not that I don't like cops.
I don't know, dude. You're a pretty shady looking character. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I wanted to be a cop. I wanted to catch the bad guys. And
Right.
Save the
That's
damsel in
awesome.
distress and all that.
Now the damsel in distress thing was pretty cool. my particular damsel in distress was Penny off of Lost in Space. Holy cow.
Yeah.
When you're 10 years old, that's a 10.
She's always in distress.
Yes, always, always. Problem is, she wasn't in the neighborhood, so couldn't do anything about that. All right, we're going to play one more tune, and then we are going to say good evening.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for coming out and doing this, man.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a treat. And we're looking forward to having the gig Saturday and
Yeah, man.
seeing how that's going to go.
I'm very excited.
So
Very
that's going to be
excited.
very cool. All right, we are going to leave my cats and kittens with one more tune here, and it is called...
It is called "I Want to Know," and this is a more of a vocally driven funk tune.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I hope you like it. Cats and kittens,
Cats
and
and
dogs
kittens.
and puppies, and whoever else is listening.
Vertebrates and invertebrates.
Also, just want to say you can see Soul Police on November 30th at the Boiler Room
There
in
you
Deep
go.
Ellum,
In Deep Ellum.
and December 7th at the Abbey Underground right here in Denton, Texas.
Awesome. So you got 2 gigs coming up here pretty bloody quick.
Yeah.
After this weekend,
After
if
the
you survive this
17th.
weekend. Yeah. And then we will probably drag you out again and
Hey.
just,
It's what I live for, man.
get you
Looking-
guys. But what I'm really happy is that we finally got you on Denton Radio.
Yeah, thank you so
And,
much.
Getting you guys in the playlist and once you get some real live recordings, just kind of bring them on and we'll stick you in there.
Absolutely. Looking
All
forward to
right.
it.
All right, my cats and kittens, we are going to go out with one more time the name of the song.
I want to know.
I want to know. I wanted to know the name of the song, and now I know it. We want to thank y'all and remind you that we will be here next week at this same time. And if you want to hear Doggy Time anytime, just go to dentonradio.com and look for the Doggy Time link. Click on that and you can see all our shows from the archives of greatness, if you want to call it that. So I'm dying here. Help me get out of this room, come here. All right. So this is it, my cats and kittens. I want to know, and you are listening to Doggy Time on dentonradio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could.
Is he your lover, just a friend? I wanna know. Am I going crazy all over again? I wanna know, yeah. I could tell you how I feel, spell it out and make it real. Tell you once, tell you twice, I think that would be nice. I wanna know. Is it what you say or just pretend? I wanna know. Am I your lover, just a friend? I wanna know. Do you think we have a shot? Is it right or is it not? Please forgive me, 'cause I'm slow. I told you many times before. I wanna know. I wanna know, yeah. See your lover, see your friend. I wanna know. Am I going crazy all over again? I wanna know. You walk the line wrong and right. You look beautiful tonight. Are you dressed up just for me, or is it him you came to see? I wanna